and welcome to Climate Check with me, Mary Mwiikisa. Now, this week on the program, we focus on nature-based solutions, and this means using nature, using natural means to restore biodiversity and to bring back life to those areas that need it. Also on the program, we'll take you to Serenje District, where we'll focus on mining-induced environmental degradation. Join me on the other side. Now, imagine if trees could provide Wi-Fi. Just how many trees you would plant? Well, they provide oxygen. We definitely cannot do without it. Destruction of nature, such as forests, has led to irreversible climatic changes to our world. Join me as I talk to policy formulators, change makers, and climate change interest groups on Climate Check, weekly on this channel. Now, you are the solution to climate change. Now, this past week, I spent time in Kazungula district of Southern Province, where I met members of communities who are engaged in nature-based solutions as a way of climate change adaptation. Now, Nsongwe River was once dry because of human-induced activities, but the river is back to life, and this is thanks to the community that put their hands together and ensured that they engaged in the planting of bamboo trees and many other activities. And as you can see behind me, the river is back to life. Let's hear the story from Bridget Meyer.
When I was young, we lived along the Nsongwe River, and that's where we did all our recreation. We used to swim in the river, we used to fish in the river, we used to wash our clothes in the river. The river was everything to us. But over the years, because of continuous drought, our river started to dry up, and also because people started cutting trees along the river. And then with the climate change, the drought, the wind, the river just completely dried up. And we sat and decided to do something as a community to restore what was so beautiful for the community. And so we started to talk together as a community what used to grow along the river. All the fika sycamores, the waterberries. So we started looking for the seeds of these trees and started propagating a nursery. It was all through indigenous knowledge, consulting adults what used to grow here, what happened, how can we do it. And eventually the trees started to grow. We started planting the trees along the river, especially the area that is to the right. And we saw trees starting to grow. The acacia started to grow. We started to recreate that tree canopy. And we started to see water collect in the area where we replanted. So it became a big movement. All the community members of Nsongwe came on board. What should we do? And we were so lucky, then WWF also came on board. They heard about what we were doing as a community, and they came to assist us with technical knowledge. And so they came, walked along the river, decided what needed to be done. So first, what we did was to go along the river and look for trees that were growing by themselves, that were regenerating. And then we started to protect those trees. So we started to weed around the trees so that the fires, when they came, they didn't destroy those trees. And we also started to weed them, prune them so that they can grow. And then from there, we started to build check dams along the river because we had cut a lot of trees, and because of the prolonged drought, the earth along the river corridor was so dry that even the recharge zone went too low. So, and then the plowing along the river created so much erosion, and the silt built up on the river such that we had to remove the silt. And then we also noticed that the river was once deep. Because of the accumulation of the silt, it started to be shallow. And also because of the drought, the animals also congregated along the river in search of grass, any little moisture that they could find. So then what happened was the activity of the cows along the river started to trample along the riverbank. And also it created that the river became shallow because of the soil erosion, and also because of the trampling along the river. the depth of the river was altered, and the width of the river was altered also with the animals. So we had to do something. So WWF decided the check dam was the first initiative, was to try to slow down the movement of the water during the rainy season. The little rains we had, we needed to capture the water, slow it down so that in so doing, we could allow some water to seep through the ground and try to go to the recharge zone, and then some of it to seep along the riverbank to promote regeneration. So that's what we did. We built the check dam with their technical help and financial help. They brought the gabions, and the community collected about 100 tons of rocks. And so they helped us build those. The following year, we had some rainfall, and we started to see the results. We started to see the water movement was slow because of the check dams. So we have continued to build the check dams along the river, including in the national park. And then now we also came up with the bamboo. We said, why are we cutting the trees down? And we realized that because people needed to sell charcoal to the urban area. So that's why they were cutting the trees down. So we came up with a species of bamboo called bamboo balcoa. And this bamboo balcoa, it's a solid bamboo. And it is also used to make charcoal. So we sourced this bamboo through the help of IISD. We formed a cooperative, and we applied for a grant, and we qualified for the grant. And so that money is what we used to buy the bamboo, to get women to water the bamboo, to get men to dig the holes, to bring the mulch, to build the cages to protect the bamboo from domestic animals. So that's what we were doing, all these efforts to try to restore the river, to recreate the tree canopy along the river using indigenous trees and bamboo, and also to stop cutting the trees, to find a reason why they are cutting the trees, and then to try to address that reason. So with the bamboo and the way they are doing so well, we are very positive that cutting of the trees in the Murkoin Kingdom will come to a cease, because there will be no reason to do that. We'll be able to make charcoal out of the bamboo.
It's interesting. It's interesting to see that these nature-based solutions are really yielding results. How has the mindset of the local community changed so far, especially in the protection of biodiversity, seeing that they could see a dry river and they're seeing the river is now getting back slowly?
It's been very exciting for the community. They didn't understand the whole concept before, because they thought, only God can bring back a river. But then when we started to tell them why, actually, you see your field, you see all the topsoil that's coming out from the field, your field that is near the river, eventually you have no topsoil. So then they are realizing, oh yes, we need to stop this. So they've come on board. It has taken time, but now I tell you, if you talk to anybody in the village, they'll tell you we need to restore the biodiversity of Nsongwe River in order for us to retain the water back in the river. So it's been a win-win for all, especially the youth. Their understanding. They didn't believe when I told them. I'm 61. I told them I used to swim in the river. Yeah. They couldn't believe it. Yeah, so they also want to do that, because their recreation now is lost. So we need to bring it back. Yeah.
And as we wrap up, what are you doing to ensure that these gains are sustained going forward and we don't go back to the days where the river was drying up?
I think the results one from the bamboo cultivation, that is going to energize people. I can't wait. It will take about 3 years to have mature trees. So that alone is going to convince people. We will have an income. And also we plan, after we are done with the planting, we want to promote ecotourism. We want people to come, tourists to come and see the efforts we are doing to restore the river. Because this is very important. This Nsongwe River is a tributary to the Zambezi River. It lies along a very important ecosystem. This river is not only for our benefit, it's for the entire country. The water volume for this river goes into the Zambezi that feeds in Kariba Dam, which we use that water to generate electricity. We are having problems with power because of drought. So we need to continue with these efforts. We cannot go back. We just need to go forward. Yes.
Is there anything else you'd like to add, especially the women that you're working with and how their lives are changing with this knowledge?
It's been really remarkable because in the planting of the bamboo, of the trees, we talk a lot about things. Right now, even women, it's a challenge for us. Even just we used to depend on medicinal plants. They are all gone, so we are trying to replant those. So they are very, very proud that we are making this effort, and they are very much involved in this. We've selected an area where we are going to plant medicinal plants, and they are happy that the children in the future, there will be a name to them. The younger generation will know all this would be because of their efforts. Okay. So it's a wonderful thing. The women are very proud. We also talk about gender issues involved with the planting. So it's just a wonderful group of women and men. Yes.
And also having worked with IISD, how has this helped you realize your dream of the Nsongwe River restoration and also just improving people's knowledge around biodiversity protection? It's
been really a godsend. The area where we've done the restoration already, it took my family and I about 12 years to do a small area. So their financial assistance has made us move forward very quickly. It's helped us source the bamboo. We wouldn't have afforded the bamboo. It's expensive because it's not locally sourced. So their efforts, their technical help, they also help us with bookkeeping. You know, how to do it, how to keep the records. So that has been just wonderful. We've learned accounting from them. The income they've helped us, and just they've really held us by the hand and said, let's move. This is our interest as well. So it's been wonderful. We are very grateful for them.
You are watching Climate Check, and it is interesting and gratifying to see that when supported, such community-led activities can actually transform the challenges that are induced by environmental degradation and extreme weather events. This is Climate Check. We take a short break. Now imagine if trees could provide Wi-Fi. Just how many trees you would plant? Well, they provide oxygen. We definitely cannot do without it. Destruction of nature, such as forests, has led to irreversible climatic changes to our world. Join me as I talk to policy formulators, change makers, and climate change interest groups on Climate Check, weekly on this channel. Now you are the solution to climate change. Welcome back to Climate Check. Now, we know that Zambia is blessed with minerals, and of course, there's a gold rush happening in this country. As a country, we're targeting to mine 3 million metric tons of copper by the year 2031, and so mining activities are happening everywhere. But how are we doing these mining activities? Is the environment safe? Are the people safe? Are the communities around the mining communities safe? Let's go and find out what's happening in Serenje.
Serenje District, a land rich in minerals like manganese, but equally rich in stories of struggle. Beneath the soil lies wealth that promises prosperity, yet above it, communities crumble. Just 60 kilometers from Serenje town lies Kabundi, a community that waited for a dream to rise. Muchinda Boarding School. Construction of the Muchinda Boarding School began in 2014, a beacon of hope rising from the red earth. But barely 2 years later, the work fell silent. The walls stood unfinished, swallowed by weeds and whispers of what could have been. Then came the miners, roaring machines and restless hands tearing through the ground. They dug deeper and deeper, crossing into the school's land, chasing every last shimmer of ore. And when the earth gave them no more, they left, leaving behind vast open scars that cut deep into the school grounds, a haunting reminder of dreams interrupted.
Icho ndekabira sana ndelanda palubali olwa boarding mu Kinda school. Okwimba amabwe yalapwa. Elyo yapwata kuli nangu fimo. Elo abantu abale chitamu obuyanta nshinangu benefit. Banona. Iskulu nga lyalipwile. Abakachita benefit bengi. Nomba amabwe bembe nango batosole skulu nishifinshifyo twalachita. Tulebula abana okubafunya kuno kubatuma kuserenje. Kufuma paka bundi kuya kuserenje. 150 kwacho okuya fye kweka. Tubike po kushita malashi. Tubike po kusonkele nganda. Nefile fwayo kwakuli. Elo nga mwafirwa okumukwana shefi. Efira mulesa ngambo kwenda naba umema kama kafwe bale kwata na abana kashi. Mulesa ngati apulefu. Kushe nishini kuisatulelo.
What began as a promise of education turned into a hazard zone. Today, children travel over 60 kilometers to Serenge for secondary school. Some never make it back to class. But while Kabundi's problem is access to education, Kanona's challenge runs deeper, into the blood.
Government, through the Ministry of Health, responded to an alert concerning employees of the Southern African Ferro Alloys Limited, SAFAO, who presented the loss of balance, tremors, impaired speech, drooling, uncomfortable drooling, dropping of saliva from the mouth, and decreased movements.
Nabwera kunchito kusafu. So pena nabwera neze mbera chebwino mai pete nosebenzera nze chusi maningi. Nze dust nzo cha mixed manganese plus cement na manganese powder. So unabwera ma doctors last year mu October nabwera watenga ma blood samples endo checking ku kitu. So nabwatuza still mushe we affected the medical first. So hapo mweni mbera wiki mpamvu nilibu. But peneze nabwera paneze chebwino maya mpamvu nilibu. Olutamanga lubiro sininga tamangi. Chame kai ba doctor pewa nabwera nakamba ti affected na manganese. So stinga pitris on car exposed to manganese. So they had to stop us first from working. We are about 9, but the first one like say already 30 or 20 something. When we say we conquer potential 9.
We have seen that there are some investors that are not respecting the human rights of the workers. We find that workers are working without safety attire. Those are the problems that we see.
The school being near the mines, a lot of challenges in the sense that we have absenteeism which has developed in the school. Their parents take their children from the school to the mining activities where they do a lot of mining. Then secondary, the mining itself has brought in some health hazards to the institution. One was that the vibration itself that comes from the mines. For example, this structure here, the vibration that was coming out from the mines broke this institution some 5 years ago, which is in 2020. And there's no other replacement that has been done. Then the other challenge is that the dust that come out from the vehicles that pass around the school. Because there is this route behind the classes that these vehicles use. So We develop coughing, a headache, such kind of problems. To add on, the parents have marriage of their children because the minors, they have money. They are working near this institution. So instead of favoring schooling, children decide to go out there and they decide to get married to people who can at least pay them something to sustain a living.
Interesting views, and we hope that as government is putting all the efforts together to ensure that mining activities are done properly, we hope that communities, mining companies comply with what is expected. This is Climate Check. Join me on the other side. Now imagine if trees could provide Wi-Fi, just how many trees you would plant? Well, they provide oxygen. We definitely cannot do without it. Destruction of nature, such as forests, has led to irreversible climatic changes to our world. Join me as I talk to policy formulators, change makers, and climate change interest groups on Climate Check, weekly on this channel. Now you are the solution to climate change. We have come to the end of the program for this week. Make a date with me next week, same time, same channel. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Mary Mwiikisa. Goodbye.